This deck just might be the best Echo of Eons deck in all of Legacy. Echo of Eons, Gamble, Entomb, plus Veil of Summer. We're playing JUND. Let's go check it out. In front of you is a deck list that Tony Scaponi went 5-3 with in the Legacy Showcase. It's JUND Storm. Echo of Eons, Gamble, Entomb, Veil of Summer, Orcish Bowmasters are the core of this Storm combo deck. This deck today is a donation deck from Velgrim, who supports the channel in the Combo Cabal tier, so once a month they get to pick a deck to showcase, and well, that's what we're doing today. So Tony created this really sweet Storm deck for the Legacy Showcase, and today we're going to expand on that idea. Tony went 5-3, so there's something there, but there's a number of losses that maybe with some different deck building could have led to some wins. And I'm not trying to diminish Tony's creation at all. Tony's a brilliant deck builder, lots of great ideas, but I do think there's a little bit of wiggle room for improvement. And that's what we're going to do today. So the list in front of you is Tony's list. And when you look at this deck list, we have 12 lands, we have 3 Chrome Mox, 3 Mox Opal, and 1 Candy Trail. Something that I learned recently playing the black-green version of the Bowmaster Wheels deck that you can find in the card above was that without Ponder and Brainstorm, running a low artifact count can be troublesome for your Mox Opals. And we don't want that. We want to hit our Metalcraft. So with only Echo of Eons, sometimes you can get a little bit stuck on mana. So that is a concern of mine, seeing 3 Chrome Mox, 3 Mox Opal. So that can be a little bit tough. Meanwhile, we're playing an Elvish Spirit Guide over a Chrome Mox that could theoretically help with Metalcraft. That doesn't sit right with me, but there's a reason why the Elvish Spirit Guide is in here. That's because when you're on the draw, you can exile to make a green mana to then play a Veil of Summer. I get it. I really do. I understand why it's in here. That said, it's a pretty low probability that that is relevant. So you need to be on the draw. Your opponent needs to have cast a discard spell on the first turn. You need to have a singleton in your hand, and then you need a Veil of Summer. It's a lot of what-ifs, and I don't think that's worth the consistency of just playing 4 copies of Chrome Mox. Additionally, I would like to see the 4th copy of Mox Opal, so we're going to make some changes here. What I love is that we're playing Rite of Flame again, one of my all-time favorite cards. The Epic Storm cut it this year, and well, I'm really excited to be playing it again. One of the benefits of being in the Rakdos color pie. And when we're not playing today's Grape Shot, so there's no Grape Shot out of all of these red cards in the sideboard. Instead, we're playing Approach of the Second Sun, which we've showcased a few times on the channel now, because it allows you to beat the One Ring or the new Flare of Fortitude coming out in Modern Horizons 3. And Approach of the Second Sun makes a lot of sense to me. So we're playing that. However, when you're playing Rite of Flame, it's a lot easier to cast Grape Shot out of the sideboard to kill things like Collector Oof or Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. So in this deck list, I think it might actually be correct to play the Grape Shot, but we'll see. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about, but I didn't make that change today. It's just when you're able to play Rite of Flame and you have more natural red sources in your deck, Grape Shot just becomes better at killing Hate Bears. And in my last Epic Storm video, I talked about how Grape Shot wasn't very good in that deck list at killing, Thalia or Collector Oof, because you're not playing Rite of Flame and you have less red sources. So here I think it is a more natural home. All right, so that covers some of the changes. Abrupt Decay is one that I've made a small adjustment on. Tony's list has 3. I think that's probably not where you want to be. I think it's reasonable to want to play Abrupt Decay. My concern is that we're a deck that's all in on Echo of Eons. We have 4 Entomb and 4 Gamble. Okay. Defined are 3 main deck copies of Echo, and then we have an additional one in the sideboard. So what we're not playing today is Beseech the Mirror. So you don't have Song of Creation or Gaia's Will. You're really just an Echo deck. And then you're relying on Burning Wish to beat Graveyard Hate. So Burning Wish into Mind's Desire, for example, is one way to do that. However, as you'll see shortly when I show my deck list, I'm not playing the Mind's Desire. That's because Mind's Desire is really at its best when you have a bunch of powerful cards in your main deck. And we're not playing that many today, if I'm being honest with you. Burning Wish is great, Orcish Bowmasters is great, Echo of Eons is great. However, flipping Mind's Desire into Chrome Mox, Wall Therapy, Candy Trail, Gamble, Entomb, it's not as powerful as it could be. And on top of that, I feel like Mind's Desire in general just has a high whiff rate. I would almost rather be playing Elemental Eruption from Outlaws of Thunder Junction Commander. So that is a card that I'm pretty low on. I know that Mind's Desire is a card that people know and love from their various cube decks and vintage in the past and, you know, extended in modern, but I think the card kind of stinks. And if you have 6 mana, you could just hardcast an Echo of Eons anyway. But for 1 more mana, you can play Peer into the Abyss. And I think that this card is how you're often going to make Approach of the Second Sun work. This is the card that's going to make 14 mana, and this is the card that's going to get you to Approach of the Second Sun. So that is sort of like a pair in the deck, because you're not playing Song of Creation, so you need a value spell to get to this point where you have so much mana and so many cards that you're able to make it function. Thoughtseize is primarily here to be Mindbreak Trap, Shattering Spree for Chalice of the Void. I'm not playing it, but I was thinking if we're a deck that's all in on beating Echo of Eons, you're going to want to have more outs to Leyline of the Void. This could be a Hull Breach, and I think Hull Breach in your JUND deck might just be good enough. There is the concern of Urza Saga not making red or green, but maybe Hull Breach is worth trying here if you're interested in trying out this strategy. Galvanic Relay, my current favorite card in all of Legacy. Red Necropotence is just so powerful. We have Empty the Warrens as another way of beating Graveyard Hate. And then in my list today, we could probably just switch over at this point. I'm playing 3 copies of Boseiju because you need to make sure that you're not losing to Leyline of the Void. As an all-in Echo of Eons deck, you need as many answers as possible to answer Leyline of the Void, which is why I'm playing Haywire Might. Tony's list did not have this in your 4 of Urza Saga deck. I want the ability to always blow up Leyline so that way I can do my plan the most efficient way possible. And I'm still keeping the Soul Guide Lantern that Tony had in here for the Urza Saga. I'm not as sold on this card. I feel like it might be a little bit of a pipe dream to live till turn 4 and have this card be relevant. But Tony had it in there for a reason. I'm sure it's good. I'm a little skeptical is all. And we went down to 2 Abrupt Decay. You still need a way to answer Collector Ufor Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. And I feel like Abrupt Decay is probably fine at that. So no Grape Shot today, as I mentioned. And then I went up to the 4th Chrome Mox and 4th Mox Opal. I ended up cutting the 4th Fetch land and going down to 11 lands because you're the Echo deck. More lands equals a higher fizzle rate, and we're just trying to go turn 1 Echo kill you as quickly as possible. Like, I'm hoping that this deck tech is actually a little bit longer than the matches. I want to speed through this league, turboing out turn 1 fast wins. So now we have 17 artifacts between the 16 zeros and the Candy Trail, and that seems more of a natural fit to me. And I think that this is just a more coherent strategy. It's still Tony's deck. It's just a slightly more tuned deck to my personal play preferences and my style. So let me know what you think of the changes down below, but we're going to hop on into the first match. Hopefully you enjoyed this longer deck tech today, and I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1. We're on the play. Let's go. This hand does the Echo. We will keep. Alright, we need to hope our opponent is not playing a Force of Will strategy. We'll play Bayou, and let's play Entomb. If they're on a Force of Will deck, they might put us on Reanimator and then counter the Entomb, rather than show them our entire hand. And that's exactly what happened. Perfect. Okay, so they countered the Entomb, and I think it's best for us to pass at this point. We need to draw a red card so that way we can cast the Gamble. They play Polluted Delta, and they exile the Snapcaster Mage to this Force of Negation. So we know that they're playing a ultra fair deck. And now they ponder. They did not shuffle, so they kept their ponder. They liked the cards. And another Gamble, so that should allow us to Echo of Eons here. And they're pausing, so they could have another Force of Will, but we're not going to play around that. Okay. Play out this Chrome Mox. No. And let's gamble. Storm is 5. That resolves. We'll pick up an Echo of Eons. And in case they do have another force here, I am not going to sacrifice the other Echo. This leaves us the ability to come back, and they do have another force. Good start, opening up on double force. They play basic island, and they're passing with 3 cards left over. Okay. I mean, it's like drawing an Echo. Entomb? Alright, so we have 1 Echo of Eons left in our deck. Add 3 blue, let's Echo. They lightning bolt me. Okay. Sure. So we did not draw a hand that does anything, but what I can do is Orcish Bowmasters. Let's play Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Opal, Dark Ritual, and let's Cabal Therapy. We'll name Force of Will. Thoughtseize Bowmasters, double Bowmasters, Cling to Dust. Okay. I think we're going to use our Bowmasters to discard theirs. We'll target them. And now we'll get an Orc Army token. And then we're going to flash back the Cabal Therapy, sacrificing that Orc Army token. And we're going to discard their Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. We will pass. A little surprised they didn't brainstorm in response there, but I'll take it. So they have these 5 cards plus 1 unknown. They play the Swamp. They Thoughtseize and they will discard my Veil of Summer. We ripped Gamble. So they need to find a Force of Will here. We'll get the last copy of Echo of Eons. We'll float green. I guess maybe I shouldn't double LED in case they do brainstorm into Force of Will. Alright, let's attempt an Echo. They have to brainstorm in response. And they just naturally drew Force of Will for turn. Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. We no longer have any main deck copies of Echo of Eons. Pass. They play Scalding Tarn, they fetch. Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of Underground Sea. And here comes a Murktide Regent. Alright, it's a 5/5. We drew a Mox Opal. That's not very good. We need to pass. Burning Wish is by far our best draw. They attack for 5. We will go to 12. So another thing to point out is that this deck is playing 4 Veil of Summers and a single Cabal Therapy for your Entombs and Gambles. Okay, when you look at the Epic Storm, it's a deck that has 4 Veil of Summers and then Burning Wish for Thoughtseize, which this deck also has. I just forgot to mention that. But you also have triple Galvanic Relay to overwhelm blue decks. And these sort of Echo decks rarely play main deck copies of Galvanic Relay. But Relay is just one of the most guaranteed ways to beat these blue piles because it's so difficult for them to keep up with. On top of that, Galvanic Relay makes beating Orcish Bowmasters so easy. Alright, we're at 7. We did not draw anything that was live. Attack. Currently, we're about to go to 2 life when the Murktide Regent attacks us again. We might have been able to win this game if they had to play the Brainstorm for the Force of Will, but that's just not what happened. Looks like they drew an Orcish Bowmasters. No, Shieldred's Edict. Okay. The Murktide Regent attacks, and we'll go to 2. Another Bowmasters is not going to get the job done. So we have lost game number 1 to triple Force of Will. Okay. We have no sideboard cards really for the blue decks. When you look at our sideboard, it's mostly just cards to answer Leyline of the Void or their Burning Wish targets. So we don't really have additional cards to bring in here. I think you could probably bring in a couple of Beseiju just to hedge against Null Rod. And we'll bring out 1 of each Mox, just to be a little bit less explosive but more consistent. Let's try that again. We're on the play for game number 2. This hand's pretty good. We'll try it. Keep. We'll start on Taiga, and let's play out the Lion's Eye Diamond to avoid them having, like, Thoughtseize plus Force of Will. We did see Thoughtseize in game number 1. So if they try to Thoughtseize us, we can Veil of Summer, and then if they Force of Will, we don't really care. Turn 1 Volcanic Island. We'll play an Urza's Saga. Pass the turn. And step they cycle a Lorien Revealed. They play the Underground Sea, and it looks like they're passing the turn here. The Urza's Saga goes to the 2nd chapter. We'll play out the Saga. There's no point to playing out Mox Opal here, that can wait until next turn. Like, I just don't want to play into Meltdown if we don't have to. The main phase on Orcish Bowmasters, that's fine with me. On the end step, we will create a construct. And now both of these sagas will trigger. And I think we just want to tap this one for mana right now. Because if I tap this one, it's not actually helping me all that much. We'll grab a Candy Trail and we will scry 2. I believe the Boseiju can go on the bottom, and we don't really need another copy of Entomb anyway. We'll play the Wooded Foothills. Create another construct just for power toughness. Play out Mox Opal. We'll attack for 5. Alright, pass the turn. If they have Meltdown, we're going to be in trouble. I could have tried to like Veil of Summer into Echo, but right now we're winning the beatdown race, and if I Veil of Summer Echo, their Orc army is going to be bigger than our constructs. So I'm more or less just saying I don't think you have it, and that I'm going to win by attacking you out. They have a 3rd land. They have a Molten Collapse. I'm going to attempt a Veil of Summer here. They Force of Will, exiling Spell Snare. Okay, we're going to lose Lion's Eye Diamond and a Construct token. They attack for 1, we'll go to 18. On the end step, we'll use this Wooded Foothills, and we're going to go grab the Raucous Theater and Surveil. We don't need Entomb. Another Rite of Flame. We'll create another construct. Grab another copy of Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll attack for 5. They block. Pass the turn. They cast Surgical Extraction on Veil of Summer. Okay. And now they're playing a Murktide Regent. It's a 7/7, so it's pretty large. We draw another Entomb. I believe we're supposed to pass here. Actually, let's attack. So I think I'm going to Entomb for Cabal Therapy, and then we'll try to resolve Echo. So they're going to take 5, going down to 8 life. We'll play Entomb. Grab the Cabal Therapy, and now we will cast it targeting the opponent. We have to name the correct counterspell here, and I'm still going to name Force of Will, but it could be Force of Negation, and this is sort of why Cabal Therapy has a lot of tension in the current era of the game with all of the additional free spells that people play. But we're going to name Force of Will, and they have the other. They have Force of Negation. So that just made our life a little bit more difficult. We will Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. It's, I mean, I just don't love Cabal Therapy, but like it does make sense in your Entomb deck. Are you going to counter the other Rite of Flame? We'll Entomb again, and now we get another copy of Echo of Eons. Okay, we're grabbing the other copy of Echo, and now we're going to discard Lion's Eye Diamond for 3 blue, and we'll flash back the first copy of Echo of Eons. This one will be countered by Force of Negation. Yep. Echo floating 1 red. So if our opponent has no interaction here, we have a win. I believe. Because I don't think that we've played a land yet. So I can go land, double Lion's Eye Diamond, Burning Wish, Tendrils of Agony. So we will play our Badlands. Lion's Eye Diamond, Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we will hold control and play Burning Wish. In response, we'll add black-red. Burning Wish on the stack, Storm 11. It resolves. We'll grab Tendrils of Agony. Cast it. Okay, we got away with one there. Now we're going to game number 3. Resubmit our same configuration. I don't think that we need to change anything. Game 3 on the draw, we will keep. They play first turn Thundering Falls. Lion's Eye Diamond. That's not bad. I still think we might want to play the Urza Saga game. We'll grab a Badlands. And let's just play Candy Trail for now. I do want the Mox Opal, so we'll leave that on top. Pass the turn. They play Ponder. They did not shuffle Underground Sea. I'm just going to play Urza Saga and pass the turn. They have 5 cards. I'm going to try to get them to flash in a Bowmasters tapping out here. I purposely did not crack this on my main phase to see if they would flash in here. I'm trying to get them to tap out their mana. We'll play another Urza Saga and pass the turn. Actually, hold on. Let's play out an Opal. This way my construct doesn't die to an Orcish Bowmasters. They have 6 cards. We will make a construct. Besage. With those triggers on the stack, I'm going to Dark Ritual. If this resolves, I can make 2 constructs this turn. And they use 2 forces on a Dark Ritual. Love that. Alright, let's tap this Urza Saga for mana. We'll grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. We now have Metalcraft. And I guess I don't need to make another construct now, but it would make mine larger. Alright, we'll make another construct. I'm going to choose to hold the Lion's Eye Diamond back. Actually, no. Let's Cabal Therapy them. Because if I see that they don't have a Meltdown, I can just play it. They flash in Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. I'm going to name Meltdown because I think it's one of the few cards I could lose to here. Callaghan's Command, Surgical, and Brainstorm. Okay. Attack for 5, and then we're going to pass. I'm going to leave them the Brainstorm, I think, because it gives me another turn where they can't Callaghan's Command. But if I do that, maybe I should just take the Brainstorm. Okay, they're going to they're going to Surgical the Cabal Therapy anyway, so that works. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to play the Cabal Therapy. One of the few ways we lose is Brainstorm into Meltdown. But I could have held the Lion's Eye Diamond. It's just a tough balance. They drew Ponder, so if I had taken the Brainstorm, it ultimately wouldn't have mattered all that much. They shuffle on the Ponder, and now they Brainstorm. They play Scalding Tarn with 2 cards in hand. Chrome Mox is the draw. We'll make another construct. Grab a Lotus Petal. Play Chrome Mox. And now our constructs will be 8/8s. Swing, swing. They'll block and take 8. So I could gamble here for Burning Wish, and then we have a 50-50 shot of keeping it. And then I could go sacrifice Lotus Petal, sacrifice both Lion's Eye Diamonds into Tendrils. But that means that we need them to not have a counter in their last 2. I think I'm going to pass. They didn't have Meltdown last turn. I don't think I'm supposed to sacrifice everything to play into like this miracle play anyway. Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of Hull Breacher. Wasteland. Snapcaster Mage. So this will flash back the Ponder looking for Meltdown. Okay. They shuffled. Our opponent says GG's. GG's opponent. We have won match number 1. How about that? All right, 4 more matches left to go. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw. We've opened up a hand that has a lot of play to it. If we're facing a non-blue deck, we have a turn 1 Echo of Eons floating a red mana. And if we are facing a blue deck, we have Urza's Saga. Alright, Seed of the Synod, Mishra's Bauble. So this looks like an 8-cast type deck. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. I don't know if we're going to be able to out-Saga this deck. Emery, Lurker of the Loch. Chalice of the Void next turn. Yeah, I think I'm just priced into jamming here. Okay, so they're drawing up to 4 cards. If they have a Force of Will, they have a Force of Will. I'm not going to play around it. We will grab Badlands. Rite of Flame. Let's try Lion's Eye Diamond. Gamble. This one will grab Echo of Eons. And now this gamble can go find a Lion's Eye Diamond. And then assuming that everything goes correctly, we'll have 3 additional floating mana. Post-Echo. We'll do black, blue. Flashback the Echo of Eons. Storm is 6. And they have turn 1 Force of Will plus turn 2 Chalice of the Void. I will concede to that. Okay. Tough break. Going into game number 2, we want all 3 copies of Besage. We want the Haywire Might. And I think we want the Abrupt Decay as well. We'll board out 1 Gamble, which essentially turns it into a Burning Wish target. And then 1 of each Mox. So that brings us to 63 cards. Actually, I'm going to do a slightly different plan. I'm going to board out all 4 copies of Rite of Flame and bring back in Mox, I'll bring back in Chromox, I think. Let's try this. It's a slower game plan, but it's a game plan now where we can interact better. This seems fine. Keep this. We'll lead on Badlands, Lotus Petal, and then pass the turn. So you could go turn 1 Urza Saga and then imprint like the Dark Ritual or the Entomb immediately, but I'm not really interested in getting rid of any of my cards right now. Turn 1 Patchwork Automaton. Okay. This is becoming very large very quickly. They see the Entomb in our hand with the Bauble. We draw another Urza Saga. We'll pass. They have their own Urza Saga. Mishra's Bauble. They attack for 4. We'll go to 16. And now our saga will go to the second chapter. We'll play another. Play out the Lotus Petal and the Chromox with no imprint. So now our construct will be a 4/4. Their Urza Saga will go to the second chapter. They have 6 cards in hand. They play a Seat of the Synod plus Emery, Lurker of the Loch. 4 cards remain. Blusterstorm. And they do not attack. We'll create a construct on their end step. They make one in response. So I do not think we're going to be able to win the construct race here. I think that they have Shadow Spear in their deck and we don't. So I think trying to win on that axis is a little bit flawed. So instead, I think we're going to try to resolve Echo of Eons here with a bunch of mana floating. We will grab... I actually forgot about the Haywire Might. That might have changed things. Probably a little bit late now, though. We'll still go for the Echo. Let's try a Veil of Summer. That resolved. Dark Ritual. And now we'll play Entomb. This gets the Echo of Eons. We'll make 3 blue. And let's flash back. We'll use a colorless here. We'll leave 1 blue mana floating. Play the Urza Saga. Unfortunately, it looks like we fizzled. Play Haywire Might. Create a construct. Play the Chromox because we'll turn our construction to a 7/7. No imprint. And we'll attack for 7. They just take it. Sweet. Okay. Pass the turn. They do not create a construct here. They grab a Mox Opal. Versus Bauble. Another Patchwork Automaton. A little bit of out of order sequencing here. Because that Patchwork Automaton could have had another counter on it. And another Urza's Bauble. They have 4 cards remaining in hand. Now a Thought Monitor. In response, I'm going to attempt an Orcish Bowmasters. I'll ping the Emery. They activate Urza's Bauble. They see my Boseiju. And now they're going to target the Bauble so they can replay it. Thought Monitor will now draw some cards. I'm going to target them with the Bowmaster triggers. They'll go to 5. Mishra's Bauble. And now they replay the Urza's Bauble from the graveyard. They're attacking. Okay. We'll go to blocks. Throw the Haywire Might in front of the Patchwork Automaton. Before damage, we will use the Haywire Might and exile the 11/11 construct token. Oh, it's non-creature. My bad. I always forget that. Yeah, so I guess I could have saved a point of damage here. Oh well. We gain 2. Post-combat Shadow Spear. Yep. And now they can equip it, but I still have this Boseiju Who Endures in my hand. They'll draw a card off the Bauble. We'll ping them to 4. Draw for turn. We draw another Saga. I don't need a construct, so we'll just tap for mana. And we can go grab like a Mox Opal here. And now we will channel the Boseiju, killing the Patchwork Automaton, and then swing for lethal. So we do have to pay for the ward too, but we still have enough mana for that.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
I disagree, phone. I disagree. I have plenty of mana already. Thank you, though. Sweet. Off to game number 3. I mean, I was hoping for some fast games this league, and it's been a slog. These have not been easy games. We will resubmit. This is an explosive hand. I don't know if that's good or not. It'd feel a lot better if we had, like, a protection spell. Patchwork Automaton, Mox Opal, Lotus Petal. So they have Metalcraft, 3 cards in hand. They play another Mox Opal. 2 cards in hand. Thoughtcast. Very good start for them. Abrupt Decay. We'll play the Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. City of Traders. They still have 3 cards. Soul Guide Lantern. I don't care about that. We're going to respond to this Thoughtcast, though. We're going to go fetch for Badlands. Dark Ritual. And now we're going to flash in Orcish Bowmasters. Target them. Save targets. Okay. They're going to attack for 5. We'll take it. So one nice thing about Abrupt Decay is it says you can't be countered. That also means that by ward. And we could just like try to echo here. But part of me thinks that maybe we try to play a slightly longer game now that we're more in the control seat. And we're not losing to this Patchwork Automaton. They play an Urza's Saga now. They're going to lose their City of Traders. They attack. We will Abrupt Decay the Patchwork Automaton. No, I will not pay for ward. Get out of here. Can't fool me. I only have 2 mana anyway. Emery, Lurker of the Loch. They have 2 cards remaining in hand. Well, our opponent had some connection issues, or they were sick of my BS. I'm not really sure which one, but we've won match number 2, and we're off to match number 3. I will see you there. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, we're on the draw against Nevilleshoot, who tends to play a lot of Doomsday. Orcish Bowmasters is a good card against Doomsday, but the rest of our hand is just really slow and there's no protection, so I think we're supposed to mulligan. Okay. I think we keep this, and then maybe bottom the Echo? Or you hope long enough to live that Urza's Saga gets Lion's Eye Diamond, but that means you're playing the Raucous Theater on the second turn? Ay. Alright, we're going to try bottoming the Rite of Flame. See how this goes for us. Lotus Petal. Alright, well, probably not Doomsday with an Ancient Tomb. That's a first turn show and tell. We'll put the Theater in play. They have an Atraxa. Seems fair. We'll get rid of the Rite of Flame, I think. They find some Mind's Desire. So they're playing the deck that I was playing a few weeks ago. That I did for a donation deck. It's the Dark Ritual Mind's Desire Omniscience deck. No Force of Will is good for us if we can rip a Lion's Eye Diamond. They did find Lotus Petal Brainstorm, though, so it's a lot of cards to look at to find Force of Will. And a turn 1 Thoughtseize. That's brutal. So they can take the gamble, and then gamble can no longer get Lion's Eye Diamond for us. That hurts. Mox Opal. Let's play the Orcish Bowmasters. Target them. We will pass. They attack for 7, so they'll go up to 22 and I will go to 13. Another show and tell. Yep. Nothing to put in play on our side. This time they have the Omniscience. They grab that off of the Atraxa, and we can go to the next game. Tough start. I don't really think we're supposed to sideboard. We're going to resubmit. So, you could bring in Besiju or Haywire Might for the Omniscience, but I think that's just, kind of approaching the matchup in the wrong direction. We're not trying to play the control role. We're trying to be the more efficient combo deck, and by boarding in Besiju and Haywire Might and stuff like that, I think you're just trying to do something your deck isn't suited to do properly. We are on the play for the second game. This is not keepable. We'll send that back. This hand isn't really any better. We'll go to 5. So we could try to gamble for Lion's Eye Diamond and hope that they don't have Force of Will. Really the best thing we have here. Okay, play Badlands and gamble. 75 chance of success. Hey, we were successful. Play out the Chrome Mox. No imprint. Flashback Echo. Storm is 4. And it resolves. Play out a Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. So I could try to Dark Ritual and then Echo again, but I lose the Force of Will. Or next turn, I guess I don't have a Protected Wind next turn either. Okay, let's try to go for it. We'll try another Echo. Spin, baby, spin. I'm going to leave this Lion's Eye Diamond in case they do. And it looks like I have nothing to do with all this mana. That hurts my feelings. But I think we have to pass. Unfortunate. They play Marsh Flats, Underground Sea, Thoughtseize. Well, our hand stinks. I guess you could take the Lion's Eye Diamond. And they do. We'll play the Saga. And I guess I'll play out the artifacts. Like, it doesn't hurt. And we'll pass. Now they play Ponder. Ancient Tomb. Alright, so we got to untap. They have 6 cards. Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm going to just main phase the Bowmasters here. Target them. Play out a Mox Opal. Pass the turn. Need to hope that they don't kill us. Polluted Delta. Looks like they're passing the turn. I like that. On the end step, we'll create a Construct token. Currently 6/6. We drew Candy Trail, the card I was going to get off of my Urza Saga. Okay. So they're fetching now. What's the deal? We'll grab another Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll play Candy Trail. It resolves. Put the Mox Opal on the bottom. We'll keep Echo on top. Play the land. And now we'll attack for 11. They flash in their own copy of Orcish Bowmasters. Sure. And we'll pass the turn here. They play another Ancient Tomb. 6 mana for a Dream Halls. Okay, so it's pretty different from the deck that I played. From what I remember, I didn't have Thoughtseize. There definitely was not Orcish Bowmasters or Dream Halls. They have Atraxa, and they find Omniscience. But what they did not find was another Atraxa, or any way to really gain card advantage. They choose Brainstorm, Omniscience, Thoughtseize. They exile the Brainstorm to play Omniscience. They have 3 cards remaining. They Thoughtseize and see that I have no hand. They're at 8 life. Grafdigger's Cage. And Mind's Desire for 6. Dark Ritual. I'm going to fetch here. I know that I don't want the Entomb on top of my deck now with Grafdigger's Cage. I'll grab a Raucous Theater. We don't want Bayou. And now we have to hope that the Mind's Desire fails. And it doesn't. They find Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, and we have lost. Yeah, we are done here. Okay, well that was something. We are now 2-1. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Match number 4, we're on the draw. I'm going to try this. They have a Brainstorm Avatar. We face nothing but blue decks so far. This hand is good versus blue decks. We'll see what they're actually on. Chrome Mox usually does not mean blue. We finally get a go fast matchup, and I have kept a hand that is slow. Don't love that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next game. Like, technically we have Burning Wish into Shattering Spree, but Urza Saga immediately dies due to how it's worded with Magus of the Moon. So it's just too much. We should just go to game number 2. Rather than play it out and show our opponent what we're doing and all this sort of stuff, let's just go to the next game and not bleed information. We can board out the Veil of Summers. It leaves us at 62 cards. I don't think that this is really a Urza Saga matchup, so I'm actually going to side those out. Just 2 of them. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's just not really a matchup where that card shines. 1, they're able to race it. 2, they have Blood Moon and Magus in the Moon effects. You need to have a game where you're not locked out of the game by turn 3. There's just so many things that make it not great here. This is a turn 1. No, sorry, I thought the Cabal Therapy was Entomb. This is nothing. We will mulligan. So this is a turn 1 Echo with Bowmasters, but we need them to not have Leyline of the Void. Okay. And they have Leyline of the Void. Lovely. We'll play Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. Ancient Tomb, Red Source, Fable of the Mirror. Okay. We will fetch, grab the Raucous Theater. We really want another land here, so I can double Bowmasters this Goblin. Lion's Eye Diamond doesn't do it. Come on, deck. Pretty please. That'll do. Play the Beseiju. Dark Ritual. Orcish Bowmasters. Target the Goblin. Bowmasters, and then we'll target the Goblin. Why not? We'll play out Lion's Eye Diamond. Maybe it will help us avoid Mindbreak Trap later. The newer Moonstompy builds all have 2 Mindbreak Traps in the sideboard, so you have to respect it. They don't discard anything to Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. And they have another Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Okay. Oh, well, I guess they wouldn't. I have double Bowmasters. Of course they didn't discard anything. And we rip Abrupt Decay. That was an amazing draw here. We'll get rid of the Goblin. Time to beat down. Hiya. Pass. They do not use the Fables. The Fables do transform into Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Okay, so it looks like they're not actually on Moonstompy. It's more of like a red-green initiative. Okay. We do not have a basic land to get for the initiative. So I swing out, hypothetically. They take 1. I get the initiative. That's completely useless. And then next turn they take it back. So I'm not even sure if attacking is correct here. I think I'm supposed to just pass. And now their Undermountain Adventure becomes a 5/6. And the Reflection of Kiki Jiki is going to transform again. It's not looking good for the home team. They're attacking for 5. I'll go to 14. I'm not even sure what a good draw looks like here, because Burning Wish into like Empty the Warrens doesn't really do anything. We'll grab Bayou, I guess. And there's the Burning Wish. The problem is still that I don't know what I do with it. If I rip a Lion's Eye Diamond, I could peer into the Abyss, but I have to live. I think I need to pass. Next turn, they're going to have a bunch of Reflection of Kiki Jikis. Like, this Burning Wish doesn't do anything. There's double Leyline of the Void. So I need to draw into another Lion's Eye Diamond. So they're going to create an army of Reflection of Kiki Jiki here. And I think I actually just might be dead. I'm at 13. So I can block 3, and then they already have 14 damage. Yeah, now they go to Trap. So I'm dead. Even drawing the best card in my deck there, the Burning Wish, was not good enough. Okay, well, we finally got a non-blue matchup, which is what we wanted. And then we got crushed by Leyline of the Void. And being on the draw. So losing the die roll plus Leyline of the Void. Rough. Let's try to get match number 3 and finish this with a positive record. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The 5th and final match. We're on the play. We're facing somebody who's been, or at least the last handful plus times that I've faced them, has been on white-green lands. Here we have a hand that doesn't function. We're going to send it back. This hand casts Echo of Eons. I suppose we'll keep this. We'll put the Veil of Summer on the bottom. Let's party. We're going to play the Urza's Saga, Lion's Eye Diamond. Make a colorless. We'll add 3 blue. Let's spin that wheel. It resolves. Looks like we can spin the wheel again. Chrome Mox will imprint the Orcish Bowmasters. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we'll Entomb. And we'll go grab the Echo of Eons. We'll make 3 black and 3 red. Flashback the Echo. Loading 2 of each color. Storm is 7. Okay. So it looks like I can Echo of Eons again here. Mox Opal. This is really the first time this league that we've got to do the Orcish Bowmasters plus Echo. We'll target them, save targets, all that good stuff. Cabal Therapy, and let's see if they concede. I'll name Force of Will. Okay, they are on a green-white deck. Looks a little more Maverick-like than lands. And now we'll play the Entomb, and we'll go grab another copy of Echo of Eons. In fact, it's our last copy of Echo of Eons. Add 3 blue. And our opponent concedes. Nice. We got to do the turn 1 combo! Alright, now for the post-board games. We probably don't need these Veil of Summers. We do want Boseiju Who Endures and the Haywire Might. We probably want the Abrupt Decays. We'll leave in Cabal Therapy for Mindbreak Trap purposes. And I'm trying to think, like, do we want to consider boarding out lands? Or is 14 lands enough in post-board games? Like, you could just take out one of each Mox and be a little more consistent, and that might be fine. Slow and steady wins the race, or so I've been told. We will try this. Our opponent with a pretty fast mulligan to 5. Basic Forest. And it looks like they're passing. Another Lotus Petal. I'm choosing to not play the Urza Saga out. I want to try to get the most out of it that I can. And I'm going to hold the Candy Trail in case I need to flash in Orcish Bowmasters. I don't want to have to sacrifice both copies of Lotus Petal. They play a Yavimaya. Collector Roof. Okay, well that's one we probably want to Abrupt Decay. Get out of here, you piece of trash. You're nothing but garbage. Okay, Collector Roof in the graveyard where it belongs. We'll play an Urza Saga. And now we will play Candy Trail. Bottom the Rite of Flame, and I think I might want to keep the other Urza Saga. We'll pass. Maze of Ith. Green Sun Zenith for 2. In theory, I could crack my Lotus Petal if I think they have a second Collector Roof, but like I don't know what good that actually does me, so I'm going to leave it. Gaddock Teague, okay. That's fine. And now the saga goes to the second chapter. I will play the Boseiju here because once again, I want to try to get all the value out of these sagas that I can get. And by playing this here, I end up missing a saga in the middle, and I don't want to do that. They have land number 4. On the end step, we will create a construct. I will say this league, we've done the construct beatdown thing a lot, and not having lava spur boots has been, you know, fairly easily recognized. Like, I think there's a couple of the games that were close where if we had a lava spur boots, it might have been an easy win. They pick up a Lush Portico. Surveils away basic planes. We'll grab Haywire Might. Players a Saga. And I guess we'll make them use their Maze of Ith. Oh no, they remembered. Pass the turn. They have 2 cards in hand. And what's interesting here is I feel like one of the few cards that could have gotten them out of this is if they had a Force of Vigor. And now they can't play it due to their own Gaddock Teague. They play Surgical Extraction on our Urza Saga, but that doesn't really matter at this point. We draw Entomb. We'll go to combat. Swing, swing. They maze one of the construct tokens, and then I'm guessing they're going to take 5 here. Let's make it 6 and make another construct. Pass the turn. Wasteland. So they're going to be able to destroy the Urza Saga. I feel like it's done its job at this point. And they concede the match. So we got the 3-2. I love that. We did not get to Approach of the Second Sun or Peer into the Abyss. We never had the opportunity to cast even Mind's Desire if we were playing it. So what do I think of this deck list? One, it's really good at casting Echo of Eons. It's hard to deny that. With 4 Entomb, 4 Gamble, Lion's Eye Diamond, you're really able, plus Urza Saga to find Lion's Eye Diamond, you're really able to consistently cast your Time Twister effect. That said, the deck is incredibly linear. So your main deck is really only suited to cast Echo of Eons, and I think that it's just tough in post-board games to beat cards like Leyline of the Void, which is why we spend so much of our sideboard making sure we don't lose to it. And I think in matches where they do have Leyline, you're on the Urza Saga plan. But if that is the case, things like Meltdown really shut you down and things like that. So I prefer the Epic Storm just because you have more options and avenues in which you're going to win, so that way you can play around hate more easily. That said, this deck is way more explosive. So in a metagame that you want to play, this deck would be a non-blue turn 1, 2 ships passing in the night type metagame, where if the metagame is really blue, you probably don't want to be playing this. And the reason I say that is, while Urza Saga did shine this league versus blue decks, 4 Veil of Summer plus the 1 Cabal Therapy did not feel like enough protection in every blue matchup. Like, yeah, we got some wins where we beat down with, construct tokens. But against decks like that Show and Tell, Dream Hall's Omniscience deck, where beating down wasn't a reliable plan, the deck felt a little anemic. So that's my thought process. Tony clearly made a really powerful legacy deck, but I just think that the 4 Entomb, 4 Gamble decks necessarily aren't for me. I like more options when I'm playing Storm decks, and that's fine. We all don't need to like the same decks. It doesn't mean it's not good. It's just something different, and sometimes different is what you want. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would appreciate your feedback, but that's all I've got for today. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and as always, keep storming. Hey you, yeah you, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested, you can visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel. You can even join me in a video in the Epic tier. It's totally worth it, I promise. And see ya. Thanks for watching.